With Hashem tonight, take a look at Hilchos Havdoloh, Motzei Shabbos. We'll start with Siman Reish Tzadik Gimel. Page Shin Ches. Page Shin Ches. Page Shin Ches. Reish Tzadik Gimel. Siman Reish Tzadik Gimel. We'll start with Din al-Ma'ariv of Motzei Shabbos, and then we'll move on to Havdoloh. Din Arvis b'Motzei Shabbos. Aleph Noyegin Shema'achrin Tfilas Arvis b'Motzei Shabbos. The minig is that we delay the davening of Ma'ariv Motzei Shabbos in order to add from Choil al HaKodesh, from the weekday, the mundane, onto the holy, that we extend Shabbos into the Choil. Aval Ike Yitzis HaShabbos Mishas Seis Gimel Kechavim Ktanim. Just to give a little background, according to the Gemara, how do we determine night? When is it considered nightfall? There are different levels on how dark the sky can be. The Gemara in Shabbos explains that this is when the stars come out. How many stars? When 3 average size stars come out, that is already considered nightfall. It's called Gimel Kechavim Beinanim.
And how many minutes would that be in New York time?
Now it would depend on the year.
This year.
The time of it would depend on the time of the year. We mainly need to know is how many degrees below the horizon the sun should be. And then once we know how many degrees below the horizon it should be, just a scientific calculation. It's around 35 minutes after sunset. Now, the time for varies based on the location and the time of the year. Around the world, the exact time. Now, since we are not knowledgeable in what exactly is a Kechavim Beinanim, an average size star, what does that mean, a medium sized star? We're not all astronomers, and it was not clear as to what exactly meant an average size star. So L'maisa, we wait Motzei Shabbos until 3 Kechavim Ketanim are visible. 3 smaller size stars are visible. Not ones which we think are average, but ones which we think are small. When 3 small size stars come out, then we could do Malacha. However, this is regarding every night of the week when we need to say Kriya Shema. Kriya Shema in the evening needs to be B'Shach B'Cha, the time in the evening when people go to sleep. So it needs to be after Tzeitzik Kechavim. So you need to wait for Tzeitzik Kechavim Beinanim. We're not bucking Beinanim an average size stars. You have to wait for Gimel Kechavim Ketanim, 3 small size. Motzei Shabbos, we wait even longer. Motzei Shabbos wait longer than we would wait during the week for another mitzvah and a HaTorah. Reason being, because we want to add for the weekday onto Shabbos. So we wait until these 3 stars are in one place, not spread around. Like you can see a star on one side of the sky, another star on another, and have the 3 spread all around. When you see 3 next to each other, then it's Motzei Shabbos to do Malacha.
Is that about 40 minutes?
So usually Motzei Shabbos here in New York is around an hour after Lichbenchen. It's a little bit more than an hour. It's basically like an hour and 5 minutes or so. Basically, it's 42 minutes with a few more minutes.
The summer is longer.
Now it's got longer a little bit. It's like an hour and 10 minutes maybe. Now, even though one did not have a Ma'ariv yet, you're allowed to do malacha. You're allowed to make Havdoloh and do malacha. Let's take a look inside. Again, Sif Aleph. Again, the minigish Shema Achrin Tfilas Arvos Mitzvah Shabbos that we do daven Ma'ariv late because anyways we have to add Mechayel LaKodesh. Kidei Lahois Mechayel LaKodesh. Aval Ikki Yitzis Shabbos, the main time when Shabbos goes out, Meshas Gimel Kechav and Ktanim, when the three small stars appear. She'ein and Bekim Beinim, because we are not experts in what is considered an intermediate star. Tap a patient test, and immediately when the three small stars appear, we mutter to do malacha. Ella, however, we need to wait till the three stars are standing ritzufim in one place and not spread around the sky. Why? So really it's 100% nightfall once you see the three kichav and ketanim. There's no question it's night.
In a row, like those two?
Even spread all around, it's for sure nightfall. But because of the idea of adding Mechayel LaKodesh. In a Chanami, you're right, it's night. It's no longer Shabbos. But we're going to extend Shabbos into Chayil, Moisim Mechayel LaKodesh, and we wait until we see the three stars in one area, not spread all over. As soon as one sees that, the three stars in one area, one can make Havdoloh and do malacha. Even though one did not have Ma'ariv, it's a cloudy day and it's not clear to him the sky, the stars, he can't see the stars. Yamtin, he should wait until he's sure that the time has passed and it's definitely the time one could do malacha. Lamaisa, Rabbi said today, we're not all looking up the stars, we have calendars. And then they didn't have calendars everyone. People went out and they were much more in tune with nature. And they woke up when the rooster crowed, right? And they went to sleep when it became dark. That was nighttime. So they lived by nature. And things were different. So today we have calendars. Everyone has their own calendar. We don't have to rely, and we're not sure of this. We have astronomical calculations to work it out what the time is. How about you?
Oh, Hashem, coming from graduation in Jersey.
Oh, Mazel Tov.
Mazel Tov.
Siv Beis, page Shintas. Mishu Anus. What happens if someone needs to go on a trip? Someone needs to go on a trip and he's not going to be able to make Havdoloh, Matzah Shabbos, Daven Ma'ariv. He's going on a flight, he's going somewhere, he doesn't have any ability to do it. He's allowed to Daven Ma'ariv and make Havdoloh during the daytime, on Shabbos itself. Sounds interesting, right?
Yeah.
On Shabbos, you could Daven Ma'ariv, make Havdoloh, but you can't do Malacha. Havdoloh is that you're supposed to escort the Shabbos queen at the ending of Shabbos. Of course, you should do it after Shabbos, but if you can't, do it before. And then right as soon as it hits Matzah Shabbos, you can right away run to whatever you need to do. The emergency that you need to take care of. Mishu Anos She'eshel Havdol HaKois B'Layla, someone who's an Oinus. He's in a situation where it's impossible for him to make Havdoloh on that night in the Kois. He has to go to take care of a mitzvah, some important mitzvah. During the day, why can't he make on the Kois? You have a becher in your house, make it a becher and leave? No, because already daytime, you travel by day, and you walk until the ending of Tchum Shabbos. So you can be ready as soon as it hits Matzah Shabbos to leave the Tchum Shabbos. So you wait by the Tchum. And he sits there until it's dark. As soon as it's dark, he goes on his way and travels to take care of this mitzvah he needs to take care of.
So he can't say.
Yachol is spouse, so he has no becher there. There's no wine with him there.
Right.
He can't have a ma'ariv. He's in the middle of a field somewhere. Yachol is spalol, arvis, lahavdol, lakois, bebeisoi, be'oid yoim. While it's still day, you could do ma'ariv and havdoloh. However, as long as it's from plag haminchen on, which is an hour and a quarter before sunset. An hour and a quarter here is not dafke, literally an hour and a quarter, 75 minutes. It's around 75 minutes, give or take. Shoyis manias, dividing the day in 12 hours from sunrise to sunset. Now, what should you do about Mereish? Very good question. I had it on the spot. Don't make a bracha on the ner during the day, even if you have a ner in your house, a candle lit. Don't go over and make a bracha. Make havdoloh without a ner, without a candle. But siyas malacha also says a chav mitzvah. You're not allowed to do malacha until the 3 stars are in one area. You have to also Meisah B'Chel HaKodesh. Ava B'Shivdi, they made Havdoloh. Shkoyach made Havdoloh. You can't change it. It's Shabbos. You're just doing the Havdoloh service earlier, but you're not changing Shabbos. Shabbos is Shabbos. You can't say, I want to take in Shabbos. Just like I take in Shabbos early, I'm going to take in Matzah Shabbos early. It doesn't work that way.
You forgot to say it. Hold on. You're still locked in shipment.
Forgot to say?
Tachon Antanu.
Oh, Atachanantano. No. You say Baruch Hamavd Ben Kodesh L'Choil and you're good.
You forgot to say it.
Once Shabbos is over, Shabbos is over.
Wow.
V'chein Kriya Shema Tzarech La'asav V'likus Yisik Chavim K'Shahoyla Paderech. In the Yoytz Ashukar B'Yoyim. As well, you have a Meir by day. So you said Kriya Shema. Kriya Shema is supposed to be done by night. So you have that night, say Kriya Shema again, once it's dark. Kriya Shema is different than Havdoloh. Havdoloh, once you said Havdoloh on the day of Shabbos, you don't have to say it again. Even if on the way you found yourself in a place where there's wine, there's kosher wine, you can make Havdoloh. You don't have to do it again. You did it on Shabbos, you were Yaitza. Kriya Shema is a mitzvah in HaTorah that the daf could be done by night that you can't do till it's night. Ve'im hu roitza yachol espalot tfilos yutches povad medem li kriya shema v'chesel shtech shel b'derech yiki gishmei v'chesel. He offers here another option. If someone can daven Shemon Esrei alone without Kriya Shema and its brachas, and when it's dark, he can read Kriya Shema and its brachas at night. He could separate the Kriya Shema and its brachas from the Shemon Esrei Meir. Split it. Even though you're not saying Gal Yisrael next to Shemon Esrei, and there's an Indian, Chazal tells a special Indian to say the bracha Baruch At Hashem Gal Yisrael Shkivenu right next to Shemon Esrei. And if you're going to split the Kriya Shema and his brachas and say it later, you're not going to be having it next to Shemon Esrei. You're going to be saying your Gal Yisrael at night, and your Shkivenu at night, and Shemon Esrei by day. Ein lachush. One should not be concerned for that issue. Since you're doing it for a mitzvah purpose, because you want to say Kriya Shema at night appropriately with its brachas, it's okay to do it. But you don't have to.
So I learned that if you, from my way, if you come into a minion, you see them starting the Amidah, then you go right with them with the Amidah. Because you don't have to be somech for the morning. It's better, of course, all times, but if you're going to say the Amidah with them, you can say it right with them without the brachas before. The Kabbalah could be something else.
Right. Could be you're right. It could be you're right. Siv Gimel. Yesh oimim, some say, she'af shechachamim hitiru la'odem lasis kain, that even though Chachamim permitted a person to do this, Toiv la'adam lizar shliasakin. It's better for a person to be careful not to do this. That it shouldn't happen. Eshudavar hatamol l'rabim. Because it's something very strange. Very strange to do such a thing on Shabbos, to make Havdoloh. And this is confusing, so this is not... What does the Alter Rebbe mean here? A person's Za'oinus is Za'oinus, he has no choice, this is his option, right? Seems to be that it's better to make sure you don't get into the situation. Even though for Tzarech Mitzvah you're allowed, but if you have no choice, you have no choice. Siv Dal. Noyagim Loimer B'Hurachim U'Baruchu Meshach Gadol Barichus Noyam Gilhois Mechel HaKodesh. The meaning is to say B'Hurachim and Baruchu slowly and sweetly, to add Mechoil Al HaKodesh, add. You will say B'Hurachim. Say it slowly and not rushing. Oh, so finish Shabbos. Baruch Hashem, finish the Shabbos. I can go to the Shabbos. I can get to the pizza shop already. Oh, it's Shabbos. It's Shabbos. You should be happy. It's Shabbos.
One of the reminds me is it keeps the fire from going on downstairs.
Gehenna, right? Yeah. That's another one of the reasons brought. It says about that's why we're going to learn later on the next simon. That's why Ma'ariv Matzah Shabbos we say Ba'at HaKodesh and V'Hinoyam. One of the reasons is because this we're holding back the Yidden, the Rishayim. Rishayim are in Gehenim during the week. On Shabbos they leave Gehenim. There's no punishment on Shabbos. Just like Lamata there's no punishment, Bezin doesn't punish on Shabbos, Lamayla there's no punishment on Shabbos. Rishayim leave Gehenim on Shabbos. But once the Shabbos comes, they have to go back. So we daven at the ending of Ma'ariv, we don't conclude Ma'ariv quickly. V'Hinoyam, B'At HaKodesh, we delay in going back into Gehenim.
Why don't we rush it up?
Huh?
Maybe we should rush it up.
Why?
There are places too.
Hold it back to the Rishon. Maybe they should get
Let them enjoy a little bit outside.
There is.
When it's your family member, you don't think that way. Mishpacha, when it's someone far away, when it's a family member, you don't think that way. So as soon as we start thinking about another Yiddish family, we're not going to think that way. Whether it makes sense or not, but once it comes to a person's own child, suddenly everyone thinks different. They say there was once someone who came to the Rebbe.
It's not thinking.
Once someone came to the Rebbe and he had tinus that the Rebbe is into being Makar of people, and so the Rebbe said, "What happened if you had your own child with Rahman al-Islam needs be Makar?" In Mitzvah you'd say that we shouldn't be Makar, it's not our Indian, we don't do it. So your child, you do whatever you could to bring the person back into the fold. And the Rebbe looked at everyone like his child, so we have to bring everyone in. It wasn't a shayla. Always when something comes to personal, it's always personal. Always things, everything changes. Yeah. Simir Reish Sadik Dalit. Din Havdoloh b'Tefillah. We say in Havdoloh Tefillah, in Atachil Antonu and Atachil Das, is what we say on the Kois. Here we're going to see what was the history behind it. Kshetiknu Anshe Kes HaGdoili Yisrael Nusach HaBrachas Tefillos. When the Anshe Knesses HaGdoila, the men of the great assembly, established for Klal Yisrael the Nusach of the Brachas, the davenings, the Kiddushim, the Havdolahs, Tiknu Havdoloh b'Tefillah Bolvada. They originally set up Havdollah and davening alone, not on the kois. Why? Why not on a kois just like Kiddush? The fi she'olum and Hagoyla, when the Yidden came up from the exile, from Bavel, to go rebuild the second base of Mikdash, Ezra led led them up to the Yishalayim. Hayud chukim baniyos, they were very poor. Not all of Klal Yisrael was able to buy wine for Havdoloh. So this is not a takana that Klal Yisrael will be able to keep up to. It would be unfair to demand for them to make it a wine like Kiddush. V'tiknuha, and that's at the time of the Anshe Knesset Agdol. V'tiknuha bebirches choinin hadas. Now why was it set up in the bracha choinin hadas? Ve'isha Havdoloh she'odem yedeya lahavdem in kodesh l'choil chachmi hiloi. A person to be able to differentiate between holiness and mundane, it's a chachma. You need to be wise. Lefiechach kavua bebirches chachma. Therefore, Chazal were keveh in the bracha of chachma. Havdoloh, differentiations has to do with chachma. The wiser a person is, the more he can differentiate between situations. The less wise someone is, the more everything seems similar and the same. The wiser you are, you more start to see differences. It's an all chachmas that way. You know, if someone wants to know, if someone who's a non-expert in colors, a lot of colors can look very similar to him. Someone who's an expert in colors sees the fine differences between each one, the differentiation. Someone who doesn't understand in food thinks, all these different meats and chickens, it all tastes the same, you know, doesn't understand. But a maven in food understands, this is smoked, and this is roasted, and all. So, in every chachma that way, the more chachma you have, the more differentiations you see. The less chachma, the more it's all similar and the same. Now, we're dealing with such a thing like to differentiate between kodesh and chayil, understanding what Shabbos is about and what a weekday and how Shabbos is different than a weekday. You need to have chachma to realize what the specialty of Shabbos and Yom Tif and Kedusha and chayil. And so therefore was put into the bracha of Atachin Ladas. You give a person das to be able to understand the uniqueness of Shabbos over a regular day of the week.
If you don't have wine, you can use another mashka,
Yeah.
beer or something like that.
Yeah.
Oranges.
Now,
It has to be
the oid, another reason why it was put into the before Atachin Ladas. They should also tvoy tzrach meitzay Shabbos kodan dvilok meisha also b'Shabbos atzma. A person is not supposed to ask for his needs on Mitzvah Shabbos before Havdoloh, just like in Shabbos itself. On Shabbos itself, one's not supposed to ask for one's own personal needs. Not a time to think about all your stressful things and what you're missing on Shabbos. That's not the appropriate time. We don't have in the regular Shemona Esrei on Shabbos. We don't say the regular Mishabeirach on Shabbos. Things are different.
thought has to be watched or thought.
Yeah, thought the midas chasidus, to watch the thought.
Are we permitted to think about sick people?
Thinking you could think, but we don't.
But are we permitted to daven to Hashem that those people should get better?
The sure not bedibur, not bedibur.
Okay.
Not people, no.
Unless it's something who needs that day.
Okay.
That's why?
Someone who needs that day.
Yeah, sure.
Someone who needs a refuah shlema that day.
Sure.
You can say Mishabeirach by the
Sure.
Torah, and a lot of people are saving their lists for Shabbos. But they should only be asking the dinim, only to ask for those that need for that day. On Shabbos, you shouldn't be asking extra makasha. Someone who is important for him to have a bracha for that day, but we say a different nusach. We don't say refuah shlema on Shabbos. Shabbos is a day we refrain from crying out. Shabbos imilizik, refuah krevelav, and the refuah is close to come. We're not asking for the refuah; it's a statement. During the week, we say we should be saying who you rapid, you should heal. Shabbos say who you varich, you should bench. It's a different nusach.
Sing
Like Sparadim,
Tehillim for somebody that's sick.
So, in certain times when it's great distress, you're allowed. person's needs a big Yeshua, then you're allowed. There's dinim in Shulchan Aruch, one yes, one not.
But Sfaradim, when you have somebody get aliyah, you make Meshabach to anyone that's sick.
The regular nusach,
regular nusach.
maybe the Sfaradim it's a different minhag.
אבותינו, ילפה את החולה, סאץ'.
So Lamaisa, Leficha Kavua Koidim She'ela Sracha Shebrachas and Tzoyis. So since Matzah Shabbos, before you made Havdalah, it's also to ask for your personal requests. So therefore we put it into the Chazal put it into the first bracha. The middle bracha is the Shemoneh Esrei. The first three are praising Hashem. The last three are praising Hashem. It's a sandwich. And in the middle we have the 12 brachas. We're asking our personal requests. So before we go into the right away in the first request, we right away put in Havdalah. So before we start our requests, the rest of the brachas, we already made Havdalah. Now I made Havdalah, okay, now I'm allowed to go and start Shilas Tracha. So that's the second reason why it was put dafka into this bracha.
So what happens then when someone misses it? And makes bakosh.
A good question. It seems like the din is only l'chatchila. The din is only l'chatchila.
The question that it happened that some people didn't hear the Havdalah in the Kiddush of Yom Tov at night. Now the day comes, and you're generally not supposed to eat maybe for your Havdalah. So what would a person say?
And they missed the kiddush.
Yeah, Mr. Kiddush and Mr. Havdalah. Yom Tov, now Yom Tov day came.
They should take on the kois that they're going to do for the day kiddush. They should say it all. Should say the previous evening's kiddush and Havdalah. Say it by day.
Wow.
Because
Wow. That's a good one.
And what do you use for the age? It's like the primary age.
Bayim Eish you only do when it's actually Matzah Shabbos. Once the next day you don't do. No psamim and no Eish, but we don't do psalm anyways on Yom Tov, but on Matzah Shabbos to Yom Tov, because it's still Yom Tov. So the whole idea of the psalmim is to calm the neshama down, because the neshama Yisera, the Shabbos is leaving. But when you have going into Yom Tov, you don't have that, because you're going straight into Yom Tov. But you have to do it the next day. Same thing would happen by the way, if someone Matzoi Shabbos would forget, like in this year, Matzoi Shabbos was the first time of Shabbos. Someone were to forget to say Havdalah. He would do the regular Yom Tov Kiddush, but he forgot to add in Havdalah. So he didn't say Havdalah. It can happen very often. So the next day he would have to say Havdalah with just a Havdalah on his day Kiddush. The day Kiddush is only a Bayir Pri Hagafen. The Kiddush by day is only Pri Hagafen. We add certain psukim before. Eila Maya Day, Zachar Sim Shabbos L'Kadshe. These psukim are not integral to being Yoitza Kiddush. By day, Kiddush is Bayir Pri Hagafen. That's the Kiddush. Someone doesn't say anything, just Bayir Pri Hagafen, he's Yoitza Kiddush. So, but if he missed out the Kiddush the night before, he asked, the same thing Shabbos. If Friday night for some reason a person wasn't feeling well, he wasn't feeling well. He wasn't able to make Kiddush. He was throwing up. He was in bed, whatever it was. The next day he feels better. He should take, if he heard Kiddush with someone else at night, so he heard the Kiddush, he was Yaitza. But if he didn't, and he ate something, but if he didn't hear Kiddush the night before, he didn't make Kiddush, the next day he should add it onto the kois that he does by day. He has tashlumin. And Bichlal, if you forget to make Havdalah, Matzah Shabbos, you have 3 days to make Havdalah. We'll learn about it in Matzah Shabbos. That's what we do Tisha B'Av, right? When Tisha B'Av falls on Sunday, we had it this past year. Tisha B'Av was on a Sunday. Tisha B'Av was Shabbos, but we push out the fast to Sunday. Tisha B'Av Nidcha. When do we make Havdalah? Sunday night. Because we can't drink the wine Matzah Shabbos, you push it off. You can push off Havdalah. Can't eat, you can push off Havdalah.
In my case, when I asked you, if you don't have wine, but you have beer,
No,
daytime, would count?
No, then you should make beer. Make on beer.
You make all the brachas on beer.
The Havdalah. For Kiddush, If it would be
You missed it the night
Havdoloh.
before. Remember, you missed it the night before. You missed Kiddush and Havdollah the night before. It's still Yom Tov now.
I have to look up regarding Kiddush by night. Chamar Medina. I think you might also. If you only had beer, there's no wine in the city. Let's see if you could do challah better or Chamar Medina by night. I have to take a look in Hilchos Kiddush.
Say it's called Kiddush or
By day you could definitely make on Chamar Medina and on a drink like beer.
Say it's called Kiddush or Rabbah, it's a little bit facetious. That's why something the daytime Kiddush is Kiddush or Rabbah. Really, all you really have to say is Berei Pri Agafen. Something. Other reasons too.
Yeah, Siv Beis. Now in the beginning, Shekinah Havdoloh were only kaved and davening because people didn't have money. After when the Yidden, their situation got better, they settled down in Eretz Yisrael, they were doing business, so they were able to afford. They put it on the kais. The Chacham said you have to do it on the kais. That's a chshivas. Shechazu v'henu. Later on, the Klal Yisrael became poor again. Chazu Chacham v'kavu b'tfilah. Ukadei shlei Havdoloh matatelas todim. Since Chazal did not want that Havdoloh should always be movable, sometimes we do it in the davening, sometimes we do it in alakos. Through richness and poverty, mitfilah lakos, from davening to kos, mikos to tefillah, from the kos to the tefillah. Eskinu chacham cham made atakana. Shelo oilam sarek kol adam hamavd b'tefillah havdol gam alakos. Always, anyone who's mavdol in davening needs to always make also on the kos im yuchol limsei, if you could find. That's it. We're not going to keep on changing the takana based situation. We're telling you the rule. The rule is you should do both. If you could, if you can't, so you won't do. You don't have a kos. You don't have a kos, so you do it on the tefillah. V'tzarich lachzer acharav k'derech shemechazen al kol shar kol hamitzvah shein chayvus haguf. A person has to make sure that he's able to do this mitzvah on wine, making Havdalah on the wine, like any other mitzvah, which is incumbent on the person. Elam kaini efshei limsei, unless he can't find. Can't find, you can't find, but you have a chiv to go and find. Go to the market, go find, go ask your neighbor, ask for wine. It's a mitzvah. Azai yoytzi dechivas Havdalah shavadalah tefillah. If you can't find, then you yoytzi Havdalah and tefillah. Rashoy lechol, and you're allowed to eat. How are you eating before Havdalah on the kos? If tomorrow you will not have a kos, we're not going to make you fast. If tomorrow morning, next day you're going to get wine, so you don't eat malav malka that night. You have to wait till the next day. But if you know that tomorrow no one's coming to your city, you're not going to be in a place where there's wine. Still, there's no wine going to come. So then you could already eat Matzah Shabbos right away. You could eat.
Or you can make Havdalah till Tuesday, no?
But you don't have to wait so long. You don't have to fast so long. No, we're not requiring you to fast. Even though you know that on Sunday night already you'll have wine, Monday you'll have wine, you don't have to fast. You don't have to wait and fast until you get the kos. And you're allowed to eat right away after you said Havdalah in the davening, the Shemona Esrei.
That's what they did in a lot of, maybe because of this problem in shuls, they said Havdalah in the shuls. That's where it came from.
So one of the reasons why it came from is because they had a lot of guests in the shul, and the guest taka didn't have wine. The guests would stay in the shul. The shuls used to have side rooms where guests would be able to stay, and they would make kiddush in shul for them. Havdalah should be people that are passerbyers and going around. There's no one. They don't have wine with them. Where are they going to get wine from? in general, those days, a lot of people made their own wine. It wasn't like you had Costco's and big supermarkets. People just most of the stuff they made on their own. You bought raw food and you made it.
So when you're trouble, you can't carry wine that day.
Huh?
When you're in trouble, you can't carry with your wine that day, all days. There's no refrigerator, there's no bottles, nothing. You can't take it. It'll spoil.
How about drinking grape juice?
Grape juice is fine.
Yeah.
The Gemara says, "Soichet olav eshkel shal navim, kaddish shal." One can squeeze a cluster of grapes and make kiddush. That's grape juice. The ein tzarich loimer, grape juice from concentrate one should avoid. It's not usual, but grape juice made from concentrate one should avoid. So most of it avoid,
Or you put a hexer on it.
but most of them are not.
Kiddush or for the regular?
For arba koises.
From concentrate.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's not. I'm not saying it's not.
I'm
I'm saying you should avoid.
I'm with you, Rabbi.
Should
I'm
avoid
just
it.
saying,
It's better to avoid it because the whole concept of concentrate is not clear. Concentrate is that they are boiling out for shipping purposes or storage purposes. It's too much space to have all the grape juice and everything, and they ship things from California to here. So they do is they boil out all the water, the natural water that's in the juice, and so you're left with, let's say, 20%. A fifth of the original juice, which is much easier to ship it and to store it. Then when you need it, you add water to it, you reconstitute it. They call it made from concentrate. Nothing wrong with it, but I'm saying those that know the taste differences probably can see a taste difference. So the question is, there's questions about what's the status of concentrate. When you're adding water, is this the original? It's better not to. Most of the grape juices aren't made from concentrate.
well, I saw a few. Kedem or a few others.
Could be they have, but if most of them, what I've seen.
I asked this question: how can you make a gofen on it?
I'm sure they have some place to rely upon, but it's better
Yeah.
not. Yeah, ve'ein tzarich loimer. Yeah, fourth line on page Shin Yud Aleph. Ein tzarich loimer shamadu l'kois koidim she'espal arvis she'tzar lahaske Havdoloh b'tefillah. We don't have to tell you that for sure. Someone who made Havdoloh first before davening Ma'ariv, someone who made Havdoloh first on the kois, the becher before Ma'ariv, he for sure has to, when he davens Shmoneh Esrei, mention still Atachin Anton. So lahask Havdoloh tefillah. Why? Sheikir takanas tefillah Havdoloh shetikna shekasateu shalom alagoyil haisel askira betefillah. The first takana was when they came up from exile to Yishalayim was to make it in tefillah. That was the original takana. They didn't have money, so the original takana wasn't tefillah. See, that is nothing to get around with. You have to always say in Shmoneh Esrei Havdoloh and tefillah. Furthermore, someone who forgot, or for some reason wasn't able to daven Ma'ariv Motzei Shabbos, was at an emergency, and was spalal Shachar time is allowed to make up Ma'ariv by davening 2 Shmoneh Esrei Shacharis. The din of Tashlumin is that anyone who forgot or had an emergency is allowed to make up a tefillah during the next tefillah. You miss the Shacharis, you daven 2 minchas. 2 Shmoneh Esrei mincha. You miss a mincha, 2 Shmoneh Esrei Ma'ariv. A Ma'ariv, 2 Shmoneh Esrei Shacharis. It's only if it's Oinus or Shayir. If someone did have been mazed, the Pshia, he doesn't have the ability to make up.
Or Karbanos, Muslim, you can't make it.
Right. Not Muslim.
So if you get,
We learned about it here once, no?
if you've got Atachin Anton, you have to get Chazer the Rosh.
What should you do? No. That we'll talk about in the next. So we're now talking. What happened? You finished the entire Shmoneh Esrei. The whole entire Shmoneh Esrei. You weren't feeling well. You didn't daven Ma'ariv Motzei Shabbos. The next day, you daven 2 Shmoneh Esrei Shacharis. Tzarich lahaskir havdalah b'tfilah shniyah shita shlumin. Even though you already made havdalah on a becher the night before, the next day, when you daven your second Shemon Esrei, which is to make up a tashlumin from Erev, you have to say atach and anton on that second Shemon Esrei, because that you have to follow Chazal that told you to say havdalah in Shemon Esrei. Av mishakar hivdalah ala kois balayla. Shehavdalah shebetfilah he ikar hatakon. The ikar takon is havdalah and tefillah. So what's the next day? You have to, and that davening, that Shemon Esrei, which you're making up for Ma'ariv, you have to add it. But forgetting Atach and Anton was the next sif.
Friday night Shabbos, you couldn't pray. All day Saturday, you couldn't pray. No, it's mincha.
You could only make up a tashlumin, the immediate davening afterwards. You can't make up Friday night once you're by mincha. You can only make up shachris. You can't make up 2 davenings before. You can only make up a previous davening. If you lost it, you missed it, you missed it. That's
If you didn't, you should say by the second one because that's the tashlumin the night before.
The first Shemon Esrei that you daven is the Shachar Shemon Esrei. The second one is the tashlumin from the Bayram the night before.
If you're not going to do the tashlumin, you're just going to daven one shachris, but you didn't daven Marav the night before. Should you say atachayim? That's my question.
Why is someone doing that? I don't know.
Why? Because he was Pesheya when he missed it. This was the Tashlumin when it was some type of itis. And he was Pesheya, he's a lazy bum. He knows he's missing it. I don't feel like davening. He wants to go to the pizza store, whatever. And so now the halacha is he shouldn't make the Tashlumin. Now he did tshuva. He wants to daven with kavana. Should he add that?
That's a good question. I don't know. L'chora not, but I don't know. Siv Gimel. What happens if someone did do Shemon Esrei? Just he forgot to say Atach and Antanu. Very common. Forgets to say Atach and Antanu by Meir. Im Tov Alihiske Havdalah B'chein Hadas. Mashlim Tfilasi, one finishes up one Shemon Esrei. V'lo Yachse V'shil Havdalah. Should not go back for Havdalah. Since one still is going to make Havdalah once again on the Becher, and it's going to be Yaitse, he doesn't have to go back. He should be careful not to do any malacha till he says Havdalah on the Kois. Or you should say Baruch HaMavdil. You should let what the women do. The women are home. Say Baruch HaMavdil the Kodesh L'Chayil, and they're allowed to do malacha before Ma'ariv. So a person forgot Atach and Antanu. So after he finishes Shemon Esrei, he should write. As soon as he forgot it, he doesn't add it into Shemei Tefillah either. You don't add it in later on the davening. You finished. You missed it. And right after davening, you say Baruch HaMavdil B'Kodesh L'Chayil, and you could do malacha.
Are women are allowed to have anything to eat before the men come home from shul to make
to say their Mavdi.
Havdalah?
Correct. Shouldn't eat, but they could do malacha.
Okay.
They could do malacha. Now, im shachach, what happens if one forgot? Ve'asa malacha be'isa itam ma'umah. One did malacha or ate something before he made Havdalah on the Kais, and he also, you're not supposed to eat before Havdalah, but you made a mistake and you did not say, and you ate before Havdalah. So lachzer l'spalol l'havda b'tfila v'gam al hakois.
But don't we say Havdalah in Shemona Esrei? Or don't we say Hamavdil?
Yeah, but you're not allowed to eat until you make Havdalah on the Kois. If someone forgot and he ate before Havdalah on the Kois, he needs to daven again and make Havdalah in Shemona Esrei.
Really?
Wait a minute, wouldn't that be a brachal of...
And on the Kois, Sheini yoytze b'Havdalah shal HaKois b'lvada. So Gemara in Avri Pesachim, you're not yoitza with Havdollah on the kois alone. Hoil ve'inik kehoigin shetam ha'asam alacha k'im. Since it wasn't done appropriately, because you ate before Havdollah, you have to redo it. You can't have Havdollah with eating before the Havdollah. So if you ate before Havdollah, even by mistake, you need to re-daven Shemona Esrei, say Havdollah, and now don't eat till Havdollah, and now you did it properly. The Alter Rebbe, in both times when it comes to work, he puts it in a parentheses. It means the Alter Rebbe has a doubt, is a suffix, whether or not the same halacha about forgetting and eating before Havdalah would apply if someone forgot and he did malacha, let's say without saying Baruch Hamad Min Kodesh L'Chayil, without saying Atachein Antanu, would he have to go back and do over Shemona Esrei with Atachein Antanu? So there he puts it in both times. He puts it in parentheses, meaning he had a suffix. He wasn't sure what to do. But by eating, definitely halacha you have to go back. Siv Dalet. Im ta belihiske Havdalah b'tefillah ve'ein lekeis b'layla. What happens if one made a mistake? He did not mention Havdalah in Shemona Esrei. He also does not have a becher, does not have wine to drink tonight. V'savan thinks shaf l'machar li'ilay. As well tomorrow he won't have. In such a case, even normally we say if you forget Atachen Antanu, you don't need to go back. You rely on the Havdalah that you're going to say on the kois. But in a case where you forgot and you also don't have any kois tonight, and you don't think tomorrow you're going to have, you have an issue. So you then you have to redaven again Shemona Esrei, because what are you relying on? You missed Havdalah and Tefillah. You don't have Havdalah and the kois. You don't have anything. So now you have to go back and daven Shemona Esrei with Atachen Antanu. It's not a regular situation, but even though by Sunday night, already Monday, you already have another kois. So like we spoke before, a person doesn't have a mind to fast for so long. A person is not going to plan on fasting for so long, more than a day. So if he's going to taste anything, he's not going to be yoitza with Havdalah. Like we said, well, you're not yoitza with Havdalah if you eat before Havdalah. So therefore, we require you to go back and to make Havdalah and Shemona Esrei again, and then you can eat. Because remember, if you don't have a kois for Sunday, you're allowed to eat.
So a woman could be yotze, a man in Havdalah?
Maitzi? No, women should not be maitzi men. We'll talk about it later, but there's a suffix where the women are obligated. It's a suffix.
She could moitzi a lot of women, but not the men.
Yeah. Also, a man should not make Havdalah for a woman if he already was Yotzei. If he was already Yotzei. She should make herself.
It's actually an issue when people daven in a shul that they're making Havdalah. I'm sure they should make sure that they're not Yotzei, the person who's making Havdalah.
If they're making for other people.
No, if somebody is making Havdalah in the shul, and they have a wife to make Havdalah for, they should make sure that they're not Yotzei from the person who's making Havdalah.
Right.
Like in our shul over here.
Yeah.
A lot of people go home and make
Most of the people leave.
Yeah.
So even if I'm here, I'm not trying to be yotzei.
Yeah.
Not here.
Yeah.
Everybody may come.
Not everybody may come. A lot of people don't make home.
Yeah.
Single. Sure.
Yeah. Sivcha, hey. When is this talking about? One recalls that one forgot after one finished Shemona Esrei. and you feel you're not going to have a kois until the next day, until Sunday night, so then you have to re-daven Shemona Esrei again. But also, last of the Reisha Tefillah. In Kra'ok Ragla, if you already took 3 steps back, or you can so you already finished the L'kai Netzoyer, even if you remember in the middle of your davening, you already finished the bracha Shemei Tefillah, which in some situations you're allowed to add things into the bracha Shemei Tefillah because it's a general tefillah. There's no specific tefillah in Shemei Tefillah. In those cases, it allows the reish birchas atachoinen. Then you have to go back to the bracha of atachoinen. Aval niska koidim sefsiyim birchas Shemei Tefillah yimarna b'Shemei Tefillah k'moi mishashach she'ela b'birchas shalom she'ema b'Shemei Tefillah. But if one forgot it after atachoinen, before he said Kiyata Shemei Tefillah's kol peh, should say it in the bracha Shema Kileinu. This is all talking about someone who knows that tomorrow he will not have a kois. Since tomorrow he will not have a kois, he's going to have to redaven Shemona Esrei if he finishes. So no need to finish and redaven. If you remember in the middle, add it in before Kiyata Shemei Tefillah's kol peh. Says the Alter Rebbe Tavashin Yebei Za'af Sheyesh Oimrim Shenidoyim Al She'elo Shitfilah Ba'kosha Yesh Le'im Bercha Shemei Tefillah Shegam Kin Tefillah Ba'kosha V'Shenkin Havdoloh In Klal Shemei Tefillah Divrei Mikra. L'chor is an opinion which holds that Shemei Tefillah, the bracha Shema Kileinu, is not at all the place for saying Havdoloh. Havdoloh is not a request. Havdoloh is like praise. And there's does not belong in Kiyata Shemei Tefillah, in Bircha Shemei Tefillah. Havdoloh, and the Alter Rebbe says Divrei Mikra. This opinion, this shita, is the main the Ikir halacha like this shita. Therefore, in a case where someone has a kois of yayin that night, in normal situations, we all have wine in the house, wine or grape juice. We know we're going to make on the kois when we come home. At least you know that tomorrow, the next day, you're going to have some wine. Even if you remember before Shemei Tefillah, when you forgot it, you should not say it in Shemei Tefillah. So in general situations, when someone forgets Atachoyin Antanu, do not repeat Shemona Esrei and do not add into Shemei Tefillah. Because the Ikar Halacha is like the opinion which holds that Shemei Tefillah is not a place that you can make up a Birchas Havdoloh. It's if you make up, if you missed the saying Talamat Levracha, you'll say it in Shemei Tefillah. But to say Havdoloh has no connection to a Tefillah. It's not a Tefillah. It's a statement. It's not a Tefillah. Not a She'ela Makosha, doesn't belong there. So since that opinion is the Iker opinion, that Havdalah has no Shaykhs to Kaddish Shmir, you should not use it out to make it up. If you forgot, you forgot. And you'll wait till Havdalah. You want to do Malacha before Havdalah? Say Baruch HaMadam and Kodesh L'chayim. Only in situations where you know that tonight and tomorrow you're not going to have a Becher, then, if you finish Shemona Esrei, go back to the beginning and say it again. If you're in the middle of Shemona Esrei, you said Atachan and you said Baal Hashem Chen Adas, you really just forgot, wait and add it in Kiyat Shemona. Then in that situation, we don't have a choice, we're going to rely on the opinion which says that you could add it in Shemona Tefillah. This is what we just spoke out. So someone who's not relying, not expect to have a becher the next day, he's going to have to redaven Shemona Esrei again because we know he's not going to fast the whole day. So therefore, and you're not allowed to eat before Havdalah. So therefore, redaven Shemona Esrei again with Atachin Antanu. And if you forgot by and if you remember in the middle of Shemona Esrei, you should rely on the first opinion and say it in Shemona Tefillah. Don't go back to the bracha Atachin. Because you're going to go into a situation of a suffix brachas which are not necessary. So practically speaking, if one forgot Atachin Antanu, you do not add it in Shemona Tefillah. In normal situations where you're going to have say Havdalah that night or in the morning, Don't say it over. Don't say the Shemini Atzeret. Don't repeat Shemini Atzeret. You forgot it. You forgot it. You'll say after davening Baruch Mavdei Kodesh L'Chayil, just like the women do, and you will make Havdoloh on the Kos. That's it. And you could do Malacha as soon as you say Baruch Hamad.